Hello, everybody. It is March 2nd, and I wanted to do a video. First and foremost, I wanted to say thanks to all my subscribers. I know that you're not a lot of you, but hopefully the message is getting through, and we can continue our journey to better health, wellness, and improvement in your life. So big thanks to all you guys, and I'm gonna give you, this is day 30 of beef butter, bacon, and eggs. I'm gonna give you an update tomorrow morning when I wake up. This is the last day of that. I'm gonna start including some foods, and we'll talk strategies. I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna talk about. But today I just wanted to talk about some things that are going on with some people that I'm trying to help, and some questions. I think we try to overcomplicate things. Now, the message today will be just realistically, if something's wrong and you want to fix it, it makes sense to me that you have to address the big picture. And what are you prepared to do? Now, everybody's threshold, everybody's discipline, everybody's life are definitely factors in making those decisions. But what it ultimately comes down is to what you're prepared to do to fix a situation where, whether it's digestion, health, longevity. And I think we tend to overcomplicate it. And you can go all day long about calories. My opinion, I think we got to think in the past. Before there was all these distractions, before there was all these options, before there was food available at every second. What is the difference? What are these variables? Now you look at the state of the world, and predominantly the world's health. It's in decline. Now, what point in time did it start to really ramp up? You can look at some stats, and it's like in the 70s, 80s, maybe. But you can even go further back to the diseases of the civilization. And if you haven't ever heard of Weston A. Price, it might be worth a shot to do some research and learn about him. He was a Canadian dentist, I believe, that wanted to figure out why cultures around the world that weren't touched by Western civilization had better teeth. And then he found out and discovered basically vitamins and ancestral diets. And he found that there was no diseases of civilization in these cultures that weren't touched by Western influence. That's pretty sums it up. And once again, I'm not a doctor. I am studying to become a nutritionist. I have done extensive research in my own health, and I've done extensive research in certain avenues, and we are questioning, they say. Now, they say a lot of things, and you can do ultimately it comes down to you and what you believe and what you want. But the information is there, and there is different opinions, there is different resources, and there are different ways to get to a result. I am starting to believe that first and foremost, everything happens in your gut. Gut health is of paramount importance, and if you're willing to cut corners, and when I say cut corners, I don't mean just like, there's no magic pill. And if you get back to basics and learn about what actually happens in the digestive system, in your immune system, and how your body works. I mean, it's fascinating how much information is out there, and where people there's disagreements, and it's okay to disagree. It's absolutely okay. The only thing that I would urge you to not do is to just join a camp because of some ideology or a theology or religion where it's not based on actual science. And remember, we are individuals. We all have different backgrounds and different influences and different lifestyles, different jobs. So all these things will greatly impact your life and lifestyle and health. So there's different ways to mitigate things. You know, obviously in a perfect world, we're all eating the most nutritious, dense foods. We're all limiting the bad stuff. And, you know, we have the option to do that. But, you know, shit happens. So you have to figure out what is your way. And I'm urging you to do that. And there's different attitudes. I have bias. I have opinions. These are mine. And I have done great research into it, and I've tried to figure out what's best for me, what works. And it's been hard. It's been work. But, you know, I've come into there's certain things that I believe in, and you just don't get fixed in a day. And if you're doing something for a reason, you have to give it time to manifest and change and heal. So we have been, I guess you could call it, over-westernized, and this convenient, hyper-palatable fast food at our disposal 24/7 is probably not good for us. Either way, whether you decide to be a vegetarian, whether you decide to be a vegan, whether you decide to be a carnivore, whether you decide to do a ketogenic diet, you know, we know that most diets will fail. And why? Because you're not taking it into real life. And it should not be suffering. You should not have to suffer to get a result. I mean, there's the difference between suffering and discipline. And I would urge you to figure out why you want to make a dietary change. Or if you just decide to cut out sugar, understand sugar. Because I still get questions about, you know, potatoes. Carbohydrates break down to glucose or fructose in your body. These are sugars. They are monosaccharides, which are one sugar molecule. Now, the way we digest them and the way we absorb them are different. Table sugar is 1 part glucose, 1 part fructose. So that opens up a whole animal. But you have to realize whether it's high glycemic, low glycemic, simple or a complex carbohydrate, these are all broken down to sugar. So you have to decide which way you want to go about it. Now, I believe you can get fat. You can use fat for energy. And a lot of this talk about calories and calories in, calories out, a calorie is a calorie. Now, we're going to lay it out on the table here. It is my opinion that a calorie is a measurement of heat. There is something called a bomb calorimeter where they put food in it and it heats it up, and the amount of heat when it blows up, the heat comes off it, they measure it, and that's how many calories. Now, we know protein has 4 calories per gram, carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, fat has 9 calories per gram. That's all great on paper, but they don't incorporate hormones. And if you're dealing with calories as a measurement, that has nothing to do with what's going on in your body. So a calorie of carbohydrate, depending on what form of carbohydrate, compared to a calorie of protein, it's irrelevant in a human body. And that's where I think it gets lost. So if you're using calories as a baseline measurement for your diet and you want to track this stuff, you have to understand that it's not a perfect thing. You can't just look at a package and say, oh, I'm eating 2,000 calories, because the calories you get from protein, the calories you get from carbohydrates compared to the calories you get from, it's not even really calories in your body. It's what your body is using for energy. And we are not perfect. We have hormones. We store fat. So that right there shows you that it's protein, energy, and how well your body takes in protein, uses it for all tissue, bone, skin, muscle, all of it has great significance. Then energy. Whether you're getting your energy from carbohydrates or from fat, You have to be accountable for that energy. Now, everybody's different and everybody's tolerance is different. You can argue from an ancestral side of things. I am one to believe that I'm on to the side of, I think we were supposed to be carnivorous. Now, getting your energy from fat comes naturally with that. But if you're getting your energy from carbohydrates, I'm sure there's a way to do it optimally, but you have to decide, understand how the body works, and it gets very, very complicated. But if you think about it like this, we've talked about this before, and I just want to reiterate this. Protein is essential for life. You need the amino acids that are in protein. Now, packaged protein, it says the amount of protein, the amount of calories, which are kind of a useless metric when you're dealing with the amino acid composition and how much amino acids are in what food. It really should show you that, because it's a little bit more complicated than just protein. That's why all proteins aren't created equal. Their amino acid profiles are completely different. So what's absorbable, what's used for protein synthesis, and there's triggers, there's mTOR, there's a lot of things. So just because you're getting protein on the package at what percentage of calories, which means nothing, because you're not even using the protein for energy if you're metabolically using fat and carbohydrates for energy. So you can get into the weeds. So one, prioritize protein. It doesn't matter which diet, which way you think, you need to prioritize protein. It is what we are. That is my personal belief. And I think it's a good sort of starting point. Now, if you choose to get your energy from carbohydrates, have to understand that your body uses about 4 grams at a time. That's 1 teaspoon of sugar in your blood. Anything more than that, your body, you could argue that it would be toxic. Now, compounded over time, constantly pushing your blood sugar, now it causes your body to react, and the metabolic flexibility is very contextual, nuanced, and individualized. I'm in the belief that if you take away that issue, there is no essential carbohydrate. That means your body does not need them. We do not need to consume carbohydrates for your body to have glucose. Your body will make it. Whatever glucose your body needs, your body will cover it. So if you look at it from that side, fat, there is essential fat-soluble vitamins in fat, and you can use it for energy, and it's a slower burning energy, well, sort of, a slower metabolized energy. We store it, and that's where, if you look at fat as potential energy, and you've got excess body fat, you have a metabolism problem, because your body should be metabolically flexible, able to deal with what you put in it, and come into its natural order. And that's, there's a little bit of my personal opinion there, but if you just think about it logically, excess body fat, to me, would mean that you are storing fat for a reason. And your body needs to be comfortable. And a body likes to hold on to what is comfortable. So you have to shake the tree a little bit. In order to lose body fat, it comes down to a lot of factors. But you have to, there's a time honored, they say work smarter, not harder. So you have to realize that there is biochemistry, physiology at play here, and don't set yourself up for failure. If your goal is to lose weight, understand what weight is, and understand that there is different mechanisms at play. And there's different ways to do it. Fasting is amazing, but based on your glucose tolerance and your metabolic flexibility, could be very difficult for someone who is burning a sugar burner. Now, if you're fat adapted and able to tap into your natural body fat for energy, that becomes a little bit different. So you can't just start turning on fasting, eat a low lean protein diet, and there's a lot of things to do. And I'm here to try and open up your eyes to get to a point where I want you to be intuitive, where your body will send you signals and they're real signals and you listen to them and then you get comfortable. And you, like, I'm just to use myself as an example, I'm never hungry. Why? I'm never hungry, but I know I have to eat. And when I eat, I'm never full. Whether I eat 1 meal a day, whether I eat 3 meals a day, whether I'm fasting for 24 hours. Why is that? If that was the case, if I would argue to say that that's very natural. And all my reference is, if we did not have food at our disposal 24/7, then wouldn't it make sense to feed and fast? Right? And then you got the digestion comes into play and gut comes into play. Your nervous system, all these things have to be in concert, have to be in unison. It's a beautiful dance. Your body is beautiful. If it's getting disrupted, that's when the body shows you triggers. Shows you symptoms. Whether it's skin conditions, whether it's energy deficiencies. When you're malnourished, you get, things start to break down. And it's beautifully complex at a simple way. So what are you prepared to do to feel great? I, in my situation, am feeling great every single day. Now, this message is, a shout out to baby steps. Start to understand that healing is a complex thing, but it happens gradually with the right interventions. And you got to find out for yourself what works for you, what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to sacrifice, and then what you're willing to thrive on. What's the cost versus the short-term maybe suffering to get to a goal where you no longer suffer at all. And that's all, because I don't want to keep you too much. I'm going to be back tomorrow with my summary of 30 days beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And I hope you're feeling great. I want you to feel great. I'm feeling great. Every morning I wake up feeling amazing. And it's very achievable. Very achievable. So I want to give you your power, give you your ness. And if I can help you, please comment, shoot me an email. I will try and do my best. If I don't understand something, I will do research. I will help you figure it out. Everybody's a puzzle, and you just got to find the pieces for you. All right, everybody, stay strong. Please like and subscribe this. Share it with somebody who you care about that is, kind of lost maybe. And we'll talk tomorrow. Have a great one.